Hey everyone, so today I'll be introducing you to CodeParrot and I'll show you how you can convert your Figma files to React production ready code in just minutes. So for this I have this Figma design with me. It's a basic design of a sales dashboard and I also have this CodeParrot extension. So if you don't have this extension already, I'll suggest you to go to this extensions tab, look up CodeParrot, and once you hit search, the first section you will see is CodeParrot, right? So you can install it. I've already installed it. So once you install it, you will be prompted to sign in. After you sign in and everything, you will see something like this, right? So let's get started. So for example, I want to create a particular component. So for this example, we'll take the sidebar component. So I'll just right click on this and I'll just say copy this as a link to selection. Make sure it's a link to selection. So I'll just click on select from Figma, I'll paste that here and I'll click on submit. So you'll see that the component will be loaded in CodeParrot right here. So you can see that the sidebar is loaded. Now if I want to further specify something, so for example I don't want it to use React but to use Vue or Angular, so I can specify that as well. And for JavaScript or TypeScript I can also specify that option, and I can also specify some other coding standards which we'll come back to later. I'll just keep it as it is for now. I'll click on back and I'll click on submit, right? So we'll see what happens. So it says it's downloading 9 vectors. So what are these vectors? Vectors are basically these logos which will be shown. So it will download that automatically and it will reference that in the code, right? So let's just expand this sidebar.js. It's given a sidebar.js file. We'll create a new component called sidebar.jsx. Okay, that's it. We'll create a new file called sidebar.css in the same components folder. Okay, now also it has said that this we don't need. Okay, so that's it, I guess. So we'll go to our app.jsx file. I'll just reduce it a bit. Instead of this hello world, I'll just say sidebar component, right? Okay, that's good. So my development server is running. Okay, let's run it. So yeah, you can see that the sidebar is loaded and it looks pretty good, right? So it's decent, like it's 80% done. So that's what CodeParrot is. So there are still a minor changes but we can do that ourselves, or we can also prompt CodeParrot to do that and it'll do that for us. So that's what CodeParrot is, and it's pretty good, right? So okay, so now let's say we want to specify CodeParrot to use a particular library, right? So for example, let's consider this graph component. So I'll copy this as a link to selection. Once it's copied, I'll create a new session. So it's better to just create new sessions. It's up to you, it's not compulsory, but it's better to create a new session. That way you can just experience it better. So once that's loaded, now what I want to do is I want to specify that hey CodeParrot, use a particular library. So for example, in this case I want it to use d3.js for the charts, right? So you can specify anything. You can specify your coding standards, how you like to code, where your particular directories are located. Everything will be taken care of. So you can just click on save and you can just send it, right? Okay, so it's generating the component. It has given us the month and everything for the particular chart component. And also, by the time this is happening, make sure to install d3 with npm i d3. I've already installed it, right? Again, it's downloading 14 vectors. So these vectors will be used as logos. So yeah, let's just copy this visitor insights component and I'll create a new file called visitor insights.jsx. Paste it, copy the CSS, visitor insights.css, copy paste. Okay, I think that's we are done there. So I'll just change this to visitor insights and we'll see what happens, right? So yeah, you can see that it's pretty good, right? So for example, in this case it was a bit curvy, but we can change the data there. You can see the labels and under the hood it uses d3.js like we specified it. So that's what CodeParrot is, right? So I can show you something else as well. So like right now this border is not that clear, right? So we'll just go to visitor insights instead of 0.1 it will just 0.3. Okay, so that looks better, right? So okay, awesome. Okay, so what if I want CodeParrot to make the whole component as a whole? For example, what I mean to say is, so this dashboard component, right? So I want CodeParrot to consider this whole component together and write the code for me, given that I have the code for particular components inside this whole parent component. So for example, we just created visitor insights, we just created sidebar, right? So I want CodeParrot to use those components and create a whole component looking like this. So for our simplicity, I have created these top bar and total revenue, all of these other components using CodeParrot beforehand itself, and I'll show you how you can use that with directly referencing them. So I'll just create a new session. I'll just get rid of this. I'll just increase it a bit. Yeah, that's it. And okay, I'll copy this as a link to selection. Once that's done, I'll select from Figma and I'll submit it. Right, and it prompts us to select the component that we want. So there are multiple components. We want the whole dashboard, right? And we can just say that use at. So when you specify at the rate, you can just start typing the file name. So for example, for sidebar, I have sidebar.jsx in my code base, right? I have topbar.jsx in my code base. I have what else do I have? Let's see, sales summary, total revenue, visitor insights. Okay, sales summary, total revenue, and visitor insights. Okay, and I also have today's sales, I think, customer satisfaction, right, and chart as well. Customer satisfaction chart.jsx. Okay, that's it. So I'll just click on send. We'll see what happens. So it says that we'll use the given components and styles to match the design. That's perfect, right? That's what we want. So it's giving me the app.js. So it has placed those components in the correct order. I'll copy this app.js. I'll paste it there. Okay, and it has given an app.css as well. Okay, that's good. So I'll just copy the app.css here instead of this. Okay, that's good. Now let's see how it looks just till there, right? So we'll just refresh. Okay, probably there's an import issue. Let's see what the import issue is. So this happens sometimes. You need to fix that. Okay, so component import issue, right? So in the app.jsx, maybe these components are just imported incorrectly. So this you can also specify in the coding standards. For now, I'll just fix it manually. Okay, that's done. Yeah, you can see that we have a nice looking dashboard for now, right? It's still pretty messed up, but we'll see how to fix that. We'll follow some more steps that CodeParrot has given us. Components dot sidebar. Okay, we'll have to copy paste this code. I'll fast forward this. So you can see this better. Now that we have this, we can see that it's still pretty messed up, right? So I can just prompt CodeParrot that, hey, the sidebar and the top bar looks great, but what's missing? Let's see, today's sales, visitor insights, today's sales and visitor insights should be in a line, right? And the other three components should also form a flex box. So instead of a line, we can just say should be in a flex box and make it responsive, and yeah, that's it. So when we send this, it should do something. App.jsx, it's giving us updated code for app.jsx and app.css. So I'll just copy this app.jsx and app.css. So app.jsx we have here, and app.css we have here. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, that's it. So we'll just refresh. Okay, again the component import issue. Maybe you know what? I'll just add it in the this thing, that use the dot slash components for imports, right? importing components, right? So that's a good approach. And once that's done, yeah, we can go to app.jsx and fix that there. Yeah. So from now on, this won't happen, right? So we can just refresh it. It's still like that. Okay, let's see. Okay, now let's see how it looks, right? So okay, yeah, awesome. I mean, it's better than before. So you can see that there are still some issues, but that can be easily fixed with a bit of prompt engineering and a bit of manual work. But you can see that I literally made this from scratch in just minutes. I didn't write a single piece of code myself. I just made a few minor fixes. So that's what CodeParrot is. Please try it out. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, I hope to hear from you. Yeah, thank you.